a very great morning, no doubt about that. And as always, we're delighted to have you join us here on Global Morning. This is Global Television. I'm Uyag Mofwegwe saying a very special welcome to you.
Good morning, Uyi.
Good morning,
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Good to be here this very beautiful Tuesday morning. Of course, everything is pointing towards the end of the year.
You're
and
right.
as usual, we are here this morning to help all our viewers out there get their day started on a very beautiful note. Something good is coming on your way right now. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for joining us on Global Morning today.
Right. Ramsey is the guy you need every other morning to get your day started on a very productive note. Well, like he said, it's a Tuesday, second working day of the week, and we do hope you'll make the most of it. We're beginning to see some sort of glimmer of hope in light of our fight against insecurity, because insecurity and the fight against it is everybody's business. Because sometimes the narrow-minded approach we bring into it is to make it look like it's entirely the government's problem to solve. Of course, the government must lead from the front. The government must have a plan of action. The government must lead by example. Government must put in the work, deploy resources judiciously and strategically. However, it still has to be about the Nigerian people, which means that it's a collective fight that we're putting up against insecurity. And now we're hearing that even governors, especially in the northern part of our country, are also now saying, look, enough is enough. So they are reaching out to monarchs, all right, to say, let's have a handshake of some kind. Let's form or forge a common front against a common enemy, which is insecurity, by whatever name, banditry, insurgency, kidnapping, or whatever it is you want to call it. Because at this point in time, apparently, Ramsey, the issue is not about nomenclature, it's about conquering a monster that has been here longer than it ought to.
I think this is what Nigerians were expecting long ago. There is no time we've talked about curbing insecurity in this country that you won't mention the traditional rulers who are the closest to the people. Then you talk about the governors, the local government chairmen, and down to the governor of the state. I think this collaboration is going to go a long way, because there must be somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And these people were being made to understand that some of them are even part of the community. And some informants are in the community there who give out relevant information to these terrorists. So if this is what is happening right now, you heard of what happened in Kogi State.
Right.
While driving home yesterday, some people were saying in the car, giving kudos to the Kogi State governor for the way they swept the terrorists that came to attack in the state. And some people were saying, if all state governors will rise to the occasion and do this, it's going to go a long way.
Right.
And there is something. Any governor at this point in time that the president has given a go-ahead, total eradication, annihilation of terrorists in the country, since the president has given a go-ahead and strategy and intelligence is on ground,
Right.
every governor will now have to sit up, liaise with the people that matters, because like you said, insurgency is a fight for all, not just an individual, not the military alone. The military need information. Anyone that is above you, you talk to the person ahead of you,
Right.
who may know better than you. Let's join our hands together, putting aside strife, putting aside culture, putting aside whatever anyone may have planted in the hearts of Nigerians, whether religion or tribe or anything. Let's put that aside,
right,
and fight the common fight on a common enemy. All right, because if every hand is on deck and everyone is ready to go all out against these terrorists, they will flee,
right,
just like they are doing already. Some of them are already leaving.
Quite frankly, I think that's what it is. Incidentally, from the indicators we're seeing now, President Bola Tinubu and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of our Federal Republic is obviously proving a point, and he's trying as hard as he can, as much as he can, and he's making bold steps to prove that point. Because first of all, he has warned, like we also talked about here on the desk yesterday, about how that, look, the days of these criminals are numbered. And we did say that, look, the president must also match words with action. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, we also understand that the president is now saying we must think differently. Because like we have always said here, Ramsey, the action starts from thinking. All right, so if you don't change the thinking, you can't change the modus. If you can't change the modus, then don't expect a different result ultimately. And just to mention, by the way, that we're also now hearing that the Minister of Defense, Badru Abubakar, has resigned yesterday, and the president, according to Bayo Nanuga, the special advisor to the president on media and strategy, says that President Bola Tinubu has accepted his resignation, thanking him for his service to the nation. And then we are also now learning that there's a pretty good chance President Tinubu will announce his replacements in the course of the week, and then of course forwarding him to the National Assembly for due process screening and or other parts of due diligence, as they call it. But in the middle of all this, yesterday, Christopher Musa, General Christopher Musa, retired. Well, former Chief of Defense Staff, met with President Tinubu at the villa at about dinner time yesterday. So while Ramsey and his family were having a great time over dinner, he was having an interaction with the president. And people are saying, hold on a second, is this some handwriting on the wall we're saying? How is it that the immediate past Minister of Defense has just left office, then General Christopher Musa retired, he's coming to see the president? Should we say, well, hold on, I mean, it's not a big deal, it's some sort of coincidence? Or is there a nexus between both of them? Because these are core security issues we're talking about.
Of course, the president is not ready to waste time on anything that has to do with security right now. So if any security detail or any security personnel, expert professional is going to see the president right now, for any reason, it is in order, it's on point. And of course, the resignation, I don't know, at this crucial time, if you see the Minister of Defense resigning, we hear of this in the advanced world. Maybe something might be there.
Right.
I've not heard the reason why he's resigning, but maybe within him, he may feel, well, this is beyond me as it is right now. Or it might be that, all right, I don't have what it takes.
Right.
You know, it could be any reason. It could be for health reason, it could be for personal reason, it could be for private reason, it could be for any reason. But the president, you know, going ahead, the information that a replacement may happen this week or next week is apt, is on point.
Right.
Because there is no need to leave any gap right now, from the NSA to the Minister of Defense to the service chiefs and to the last constable right there. You know, everyone needs to rise to the occasion. Imagine the president saying the forest guard, all right, should be indoctrinated into how they can also be part of this fight. You know what that means? So at a point, okay, even vigilantes, everyone, see, if we have had all of these before now, these guys, in fact, Nigeria would have been their graveyard by now, even though a lot of them have gone down 6 feet, a lot of them have lost their life. But you know how these people operate. You know, it's like there is no hiding place. You can see the way they're attacking in different states right now, sending signals, you know, and we so much believe in the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Commander-in-Chief. The president that I know is a no-nonsense man. And if he wants to do anything, one thing that I've known the president for, right from when he was the governor of Lagos State, I was in Lagos then, you know, if he meant to do anything, he would do it to the latter, you know, and you will see the result as it is. So if all of this is happening, but then, I don't know, if General Musa is a fit for the shoes, let him put it on. Because you could remember during his time, you know, the combat with terrorists, everyone know how it went in this country.
Right.
At least we heard a lot of good news, okay? Even though those guys were reinforcing and we got to where we are today. General Musa did pretty well during his time before he stepped down.
Right.
So if he's going to see the president right now during dinner and there is a talk and he's a fit for the shoe, that position, why not? He should take it, because all we are saying right now is who can do the job.
Right. I think that question is worth more than $1 million. So who can do the job? It has to be about competence, about proven track record, and of course, about love for country. Let's take a quick break at this point, everyone. The rest of the show continues shortly, but keep in mind that at the very heart of our conversations this morning is the state of security in Nigeria. Do stay with us. Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course,
welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, the conversation here continues on Global Morning. Of course, the issue of insecurity is big on the table, as always, this morning. But there's a part of this conversation that we need to happen a bit further, which is the sponsorship of terror. Because I remember growing up, Ramsey, as a young boy, you always hear people say things like, I mean, a full-blown adult would say, this young boy or this young girl is not talking to me this way without somebody behind him or her. So the adult is looking past the child. The adult is looking at who is giving this child that feel, that energy, all right? That, if you like, support to be able to come off this rude. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you have people who are this audacious in their attacks, the common sense question to ask without having military experience, without being a defense expert, is to say, can we take a pause for a second and ask ourselves, who are those sponsoring these people? Who are those giving them this sort of, I mean, these humongous resources that they have, this latitude, all right, this sort of courage that is uncommon? We must find out. But in this regard, I think it's a bit of a relief to learn that we are hearing from the presidency at this point that President Bola Tinubu's led federal government will soon announce the names of those who are sponsoring these insecurity in our country, all right, whether they are within our borders or beyond our borders. And that's why you see some people were saying that, look, there's nothing wrong in saying the U.S. should assist Nigeria. Of course, the U.S. is not going to come attack Nigeria. The idea is the U.S. must understand, must respect the sovereignty of Nigeria. And it must be mutually agreed partnership, or if you like, collaboration between Nigeria and the U.S. to say, look, we can share intel, you can give us support in these specific areas. Because if you can't cut off the funding, the channels through which these criminals get their support, whatever you do, Ramsey, will end up on the desk of talking plenty with little or no results to show for it.
I think you said it all. The only way now, the water should stop flowing. Let's see what happened to the fish.
Right.
Because if you want to know the secret of a fish, bring it out of the water. Let the water stop flowing, all right? Let's get to see the styles of the fish, whether the fish will be able to swim on a dry land, or it's going to die, or somebody's going to pick it up. Because as it is, number one, these people were trained by someone, because the kind of equipment they use.
Right.
Even soldiers are being trained to handle these guns, these weapons.
Rigorous training over a long time.
Over a very long time.
Right.
And they still do retrainings. Because for every particular weapon you are supposed to handle, you go for a training for that very
knowledge
update. I saw a video where one of the terrorists, I don't know, they said they were celebrating according to the video. And you know the way military or maybe the police will just do how many gun salute, 24 or 12 gun salute or something. I don't know what they were doing. And he came and wanted to do that and put the gun up. As he shot the gun waved and killed their overall boss. In that video that I saw. And people were jubilating that Nemesis is catching up with them and all of that on social media. I don't know how true that is. That is to tell you that these people are being sponsored by certain people who provide the weapons, who also pay them money. Because I've had someone said, I think someone was kidnapped also, and at the process of trying to pay ransom, you know, the usual, we can get to them through this person.
Right.
And one of them, I think one of the kidnappers also, was saying, well, they are being employed to do this job and they are on salary. That's what they do for a living. That's just like that's their job. Meaning there are people who are sponsoring this. One of the greatest thing that the federal government will do is to look beyond self, look beyond face. You know, and
find the courage to do the needful, do right by Nigerians.
That's it. And that's one of the areas that I so believe in the president of this country. It's one man that doesn't see face when he wants to do the right thing, if he means to do it. So what we are expecting the federal government to do now is naming and shaming.
Right.
Because if you just name them, and they are still free on the streets, they may still, you know, go back to do maybe or indirectly. We've heard of someone, a barrister told me on my program here one day, I think on a Global Morning, that an armed robber who buy car, what he does is he buy cars with fake alerts, and he was arrested. He was in prison and was still doing the same thing because he had his boys outside.
Right. So, and he had established a line of communication with them.
Communication with them already. So if we must do this thing thoroughly, we should do it with a total disconnection.
Right. Well, it has to be total or nothing. As they say, go hard or go home. The options are right in front of us. Let's take a break now, everyone, but not without bringing you some inspiration, courtesy of Ramsey in Okagbo. Behind that, we'll look at the paper headlines for you on Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Hello and welcome once again to Heart with Ramsey Enoch. Today, I just really want to encourage someone because we need to encourage ourselves. We need to be encouraged. Why do we need to encourage ourselves? Because everybody's capacity is not the same. What you can withstand is different from what I can withstand. There are ways you handle issues, situations of life that I don't even know at all. But we need to encourage ourselves. And that's showing love too. Because if I decide to encourage you, I'm trying to show love. Let me just say this, that courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day spring. And I will try again tomorrow. This is coming from Mary Ann Radmacher. Courage, as it is often misunderstood as bold, dramatic, and being somebody that is full of action. Courage is beyond that. Courage is beyond that. All right. This is a misunderstanding, but then everyone is entitled to their thought. But I would like us also to know that courage is not always being bold, being dramatic, being able to talk, being able to look into everybody's eyes and tell them the truth. Courage is personal and unseen. It can be the decision to face a new day after a series of failure. Listen, I said courage, can be the decision to face a new day after a series of failure. You try, you failed. You try again, you failed. You try again, you failed. Most of the inventions that you see today is something that was done by some set of people. The first time they failed, the second time they failed, the third time. In fact, at the end of it, people were not believing in them anymore because they were already known to be failures. But then courage gave them the boldness. Courage gave them the mindset that we need to keep doing it until we get it right. We won't stop doing it. People will tell you, well, if you're doing the same thing the same way, you cannot get a different result. But it even takes courage for you to do
different things, different ways, and get the result. Because after the first set of failure, you may just don't believe in yourself anymore. You may not have the courage to do it anymore because of what people will say. People around you might be saying so many things at a particular time. Some people may tell you, well, is it must you do this thing? But you want to get it right. They don't know what is the drive, what is behind it. So it doesn't matter how many times you fail. Have the courage to do it again. Give it a try. Do it a different way, but don't stop doing it until you get it. And that's the reason I said when we talk about courage, it can be the decision to face a new day after a series of failure. To speak up when it's hard or simply keep going, all right? Speaking out when it's hard, when no one believes in you, you still keep speaking it because you know that yes, if you have the courage to say it, if you can say it, you can seize it. That's what courage is. So what do you have to do? You should know that courage is also to simply keep going when everything in you says stop, stop, stop. Human beings are saying stop. The circumstance is saying stop. The economy is saying stop. Everything is saying stop. Even your body system is saying stop because you've done it over and over and over and over again. But then you have the courage. You are a courageous man, you are a courageous woman, and you have a target, you have a pursuit, you have a result that you're working towards. And you say, no, I'm not going to stop until I get to the end. I'm not going to stop until I get the result. That is how a courageous man move. That is how a courageous woman move and think. Whatever I say as far as this speech, this inspirational, this heart-to-heart discussion is concerned, I want you to know that your mentality needs to be up and doing. Your mental ability matters. A lot of things will want to stop you. The economy is fighting. It could even be people within your cycle. Do you know how many people are smiling with you today, but they go behind to say different things? Do you know how many people are flaunting themselves around you today? Do you know how many people are condemning you behind? Even if you get to know these things, because there is something you are after, something positive, you don't need to stop. You need to build courage and keep going. Even when everybody said enough is enough, you don't stop. Even when everybody is saying, hey, come on, must you die doing this thing? Tell them you will achieve your aim in life and destiny. And that's the reason we need to be courageous in everything that we do. I'm not talking about hypocrisy right now. I'm not talking about sycophancy. Trying to do what you know you cannot do. That's not what I'm saying. But when you have a vision, when you have a dream, when you have a pursuit, no matter the darkness, no matter how things are getting very difficult, no matter how there are signs telling you to stop, you don't have to stop. Have the courage to go. Don't care what people will say. Because whatever you do, people must say something, whether positive or negative. So what do you have to do? Just keep pushing. Be courageous and know that everything pointing to you stopping should not stop you. Be courageous. Let me let you know also that courage lives in persistence. In silent strength, there is courage. And in the everyday struggle of the ordinary people trying to do the right thing. This quote beautifully captures the essence of quiet bravery. Courageous people are not noisemakers. but they are determined people. They want it done and they want it done. No matter the obstacles, they want it done. They might not be noisemakers. They might not be talking every time, but they are brave people, very intelligent people. And I also like to let you know that the quotes that I spoke about earlier acknowledge that sometimes the most heroic act is not found in battle cries, but in the determination to keep trying, courageously trying. Everyone has days when they feel defeated or lost. You are down, your system, you keep pushing your system, you can't do it anymore. Someone once told me a story about the army officers when they are doing press up, and they do it to a point that their body system can't carry them anymore. What carries them at that point is their heart and their mind. You see them keep pressing on. So what am I trying to say? Be courageous in everything that you do, especially if you know that it is the right thing. Choose to rise, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Thank you very much for listening to us today on Heart to Heart. It's good for us to talk heart to heart. There are some things people can't tell you ordinarily, but then when you listen and watch Heart to Heart, you get to hear those things that will keep you going to help you achieve your daily target, your monthly target, and your yearly target, and the courage to keep moving, achieving what you need to achieve in life. Many thanks for watching Heart to Heart today. My name once again is Ramsey Enoch. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.
All right, thank you so very much, Ramsey. Let's now turn to the papers for you. We are beginning with the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. Above the nameplate top right corner, it says Nigeria's oil output edges up, still misses ambitious targets. Well, we are on track, hopefully. PDP national leadership states gave conflicting notices on Osun 2026 Guba primary. And there one writer with that headline says, State PDP warns Adeleke may no longer be interested in party's ticket. Why is that the case? Details you can find when you read up the Daily Independent today. Agric ICT financial services boosts Nigerian economy in third quarter, that's Q3. Millions of Nigerian drivers at risk due to fairly used tires. Why do we have that kind of prevalence? Could it be for economic reasons? Maybe motorists or vehicle owners trying to cut costs, or, well, believing that used tires are more durable than the new ones. You know, we do that with plugs too, spark plugs. Somebody says to you, look, used spark plugs or the ones imported, having been used overseas, are more durable. So sometimes two factors, basically durability and then cost elements, are the reasons people opt for these used or fairly used items. NUPRC projects $10 billion investments as licensing round opens. All right, that's the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission. They're projecting $10 billion investments as licensing round opens. Nigerians' $1 trillion goal hinges on SMEs. That's Speaker Tajuddin Abbas is the one to whom that headline is credited, with details awaiting you on page 6. Nigeria's $1 trillion goal hinges on small and medium-scale enterprises. Mba launches high-tech drones equipment to boost security. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. We must find a way to marry technology and other efforts we're making as we fight insecurity, whether they are kinetic or non-kinetic. Nigeria grants asylum to Guinea-Bissau opposition candidates after coup. On page 29, former President Goodluck Jonathan said, well, Mr. Diaz has committed no offense, so there was no reason to hold him in that sort of manner, some sort of arrests. So Nigeria is now saying our arms are wide open for you. We're flinging our doors open all the way for you to come in by way of asylum. We hope that sort of option will open for him in other countries as well. Defense Minister Badaru resigns. The details are on page 2. Ramsey and I hinted on that at the top of the program this morning. Then there's a headline here with a kicker that says, terrorism, US, France, UK providing support to Nigeria. It is the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, saying that. And then the writer tells us, VC's Kontagora over abduction of pupils. And the NSA has, as always, assured them that those abducted will be released unconditionally as quickly as possible, reminding families and loved ones that the government is not sleeping on this one. And finally, NSSEC rolls out national standards for secondary education, and we hope there will also be quality control measures, real-time, put in place in this regard. Those details are on page 26, and that's how we call it a wrap on the Daily Independent. As we move on now to the next paper, we're skipping the Tribune so we can bring you the Daily Trust newspaper.
All right, let's quickly get to the Daily Trust and see what we have there. All right, on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, this one says, Niger students abduction. We are having sleepless nights, parents tell NSA. Defense Minister Badaru resigns. How agri-industrial sector pushes Nigeria's GDP by 3.98% in Q3. And now to the big story. The big story says, Kano new bandits frontier, consequences for economy. Okay, that's worth looking at, as a matter of fact. Then below the newspaper, you have banditry as the kicker. Northern governors urge Tinubu to suspend mining for 6 months. You know, security operatives here said, well, one of the things that has constituted and resulted to this terrorism, part of it is mining. And of course, if this is coming out from the north, then something needs to be done. And it needs also to be investigated. Who are these miners? Are they legal or illegal miners?
Ramsey, I think you're making all the sense in the world right now, because come to think of it, in line with what you have said, it was right in our faces last year that the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, came out and he told federal legislators that, look, there are powerful people behind mining. And there's no way the president and the top echelon of security and defense in this country will say they do not know who these powerful people are. So if the northern governors are coming out at this point and proposing to the president, which I believe is a very appropriate and timely move, to say, look, Mr. President, let's suspend mining activities for at least 6 months and use that window to better identify what the real causes are and be able to better strategize in terms of our fight against banditry. How do we live in a country where banditry has become more of a popular song than anything else? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So I strongly believe this is a proposal the president should not take lightly. He should pay some attention to it.
All right, let's keep our fingers crossed and see the next point of action. I always believe in our president that he would always want to take action when it is necessary, and this is one of those necessary times. Osun 2026, that's the kicker. Adeleke no longer interested in PDP tickets. Party chair is the one saying that. $2 billion debt. Nestor Oil's offices reprocessed. Nigeria grants asylum to Guinea-Bissau's opposition candidate. Nigeria grants asylum to Guinea-Bissau's opposition candidate. All right, that's it. Let's quickly flip to the next paper.
All right. Let's see what we have for you from the next paper, everyone. Thank you, Ramsey. That will be the first daily, and the headline adjacent to the nameplate of the first daily newspaper has a picture of one of the ambassadors designated talking about Reno Omokri. It says DDF GGG rejects Omokri's ambassadorial nomination, urged Tinubu to withdraw appointment. And then you are asking yourself, what entities are DDF and GGG? Well, those details are on today's issue of the first daily. Kidnappers contact abducted Sokoto Bride's family, reject ransom talks. Who does that? I mean, if you're contacting, who would have thought you want to open negotiation for ransom or at least begin to discuss conditions for release? But if you make a call, if you initiate contact and then at the same time refuse to want to talk, then there's a bit of protraction there. Borno police discover 23 million gold hidden, 23 million naira gold hidden by a woman escaping Boko Haram 15 years ago. World AIDS Day shocker. AHF says 23,306 Nasarawa residents need HIV treatments. Federal government rolls out free liver kidney tests for Nigerians living with HIV. And then the Star headline tells us, Kaduna summits, northern governors, monarchs move to rescue region from insecurity. Leaders give green light for state police, which of course is long overdue. Some Tinubu ambassadorial nominees belong in prison. That's credited to Joe Keshi. Nigeria's debt soars to 152.39 trillion naira in Q2 2025. That is according to a report coming out from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. Police foil kidnap attempt in FCT, kill suspects. Well, we can't continue to tolerate embarrassments. Those are your headlines from the First Daily today as we skip the nation to bring you the Blueprint newspaper next.
All right, let's quickly go through the Blueprint newspaper this morning and see the headlines that we have. On the Blueprint newspaper this morning, we have this headline, beginning from the big story. NSCDC's 63,000 workforce can't meet VIP's need, according to investigation. Another VIP issue coming up again. Someone said something. He said, now that the police have been withdrawn, they shouldn't go on NSCDC. And that's what we're hearing here now. All right. NSCDC are also designated for a particular assignment.
Yeah, they have their core mandate.
So this is a deviation from what the mandate is.
So the question is protection of VIPs part of their remits?
I think that's one of the things we should be.
We must be able to establish all of these, otherwise we'll look like a country that's not serious about it.
Very important. Then a few riders to that story needs specialized manpower. Federal government promotes 24,000 paramilitary officers. Corps must be well equipped, trained for new role. Ex-DSS director Ejiofor is the one saying that. Report any VIP with escort, presidency tells Nigerians. Report any VIP with escort, presidency tells Nigerians. What kind of escort are we talking about here? Is it private escort? Is it police escort? Is it NSC?
Is it bodyguards?
Is it bodyguards? So it should be defined, of course. So we will know what the federal government is talking about, because some persons may have their own personal security details.
Right.
A federal government proposes a 40% salary increase for ASU lecturers. All right. This is a proposal. Now, to another semi-big story here. Northern governors, traditional rulers, back states' pleas, suspend mining for 6 months. Now, traditional rulers are also saying what the governors are saying.
Right.
This mining, there must be something there.
About it.
Yes, it should be investigated. Two writers to that story, actually. Our states, local governments agreed to 1 billion naira monthly deduction for Security Trust Fund. Abducted Niger school children will soon return, Tinubu assures. That's right. Patience Jonathan, T.Y. Danjuma Ganduje, 1,092 others lose land titles. Then this one says 40 suspected illegal Malian, Ivorian immigrants nabbed in Nasarawa. What are they coming to do in Nigeria? Then you also have this. Defense Minister Badaru resigns. Details you can find on page 17. And finally, from the Blueprints newspaper this morning, coup, that's the kicker. Nigeria grants asylum to Guinea-Bissau opposition candidate Costa. Those are the headlines from the Blueprint newspaper this morning.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. Time to take you to our next port of call away from the Blueprint newspaper, and that happens to be This Day on This Day. All right, from the top of, just above the nameplate, first of all, it says, Defense Minister Badaru resigns. Tinubu considers ex-CDS Christopher Musa as likely replacement. Again, that was a hint that Ramsey and I mentioned in passing this morning. Coup aftermath. Nigeria offers protection for Guinea-Bissau opposition candidates, Diaz. Those details are on page 8. What's more, Total Energies announces plans to sell 40% of Nigeria's assets to Chevron. And then the Star headline says, NUPRC targets $10 billion investment, lists 50 oil gas blocks in new licensing round. 4 riders with that headline. What does it say here? It says Kumola Fair says 2 billion barrels or 2 million barrels of crude, 400,000 barrels oil output expected in 10 years. All right, 2 billion actually in 10 years. That's quite an ambitious projection there, quite frankly. And then another of the riders there says bid round to last 6 months. Commission launches portal, obviously to create transparency. A licensing process for sale of blocks to be fully automated. CCE pledges a transparent process, says no clearance for briefcase investors. Of course, is it realistic to say you're removing or extricating the oil and gas sector from briefcase investors? Well, maybe that's a conversation we'll have at another time. Meanwhile, that's what we're leaving it with the papers this morning. I would like to remind you, as always, that Global Television, as a media outlet, or the team here on A Global Morning, does not in any way contribute to these headlines or influence their details. All we do for you is bring you the headlines exactly as published by the respective publishers. So we're taking a quick break now. When we return, Ogochukwu Mobodo will be here with Social Bars.
is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World News in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Top Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Good morning, the Global Morning crew, and good morning to you, our viewers. You're welcome to Social Buzz here on Global Morning, and I am Ogochukwu Mobno. We're going to be looking at some issues and making rounds on the internet, and one of them is the unlawful arrest of a 19-year-old who was released just yesterday. Ife Sinachi, then a 19-year-old plumber and mason, was arrested on 12th August 2019 in Onitsha by a team of police officers on patrol and subsequently accused of being part of a gang of thieves. His repeated plea of innocence fell on deaf ears. He alleges he was subsequently tortured, and on the 12th of November 2020, he was eventually arraigned and remanded at the Onitsha Correctional Center pending trial. Lawyers from the Justice Project and the NBA YLF Orca Branch Human Rights Committee eventually took up his matter, and during the Chief Justice of Anambra State jail delivery exercise, he was finally discharged and released from prison. Now 25 years old, Ife Sinachi have lost 5 years of his life, is now reunited with his family. Just like Ife Sinachi, there are thousands of forgotten Nigerians currently suffering in prison, awaiting a trial that may never take place, to be very honest. Well, I'm not alone today in the studio. I have with me Uyi Agbomofuegbe. Good morning, Uyi.
Good morning, Ogochukwu. Second day into a new month.
Of course. So how do you feel?
Well, it's great. Like Ramsey mentioned on the show this morning, you know that December kind of wind is blowing.
Yes, it started yesterday, honestly.
I felt it.
All right. So before we go ahead with the conversation, I'll just take a few comments from social media and then we'll bring you in proper. So the first comment is coming from Michi Fina, and Michi says, the worst is that after bailout, Chishi served Inogu see from them. No compensation damage is done to him. The second comment is coming from Ada Ikwere, and Ada says, no compensation, no nothing, just wasted years, all because he couldn't meet up the amount police must have required for his bail, which is supposed to be free. The third comment is coming from Omsignificant, and this person says, TN, the number of people in cells and prison that are innocent and have no one to assist them in any shape or form to come out is alarming. Some people's family members think they ran away from home or have even been kidnapped, but they are just chilling in a cell. All right, so we're going to be talking about this briefly, then we'll move over to other things. So yeah, one more time, we've just read about the arrest by police officers, in Anambra State to a young guy who was just 19 at 2019, and today he's 25. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's all over social media and people are just talking about and recounting, different moments when they were arrested and nobody came to their rescue. I'm just going to share a brief summary of my friend too, who had the same issue because he was the tenant of the building. But the lady, the tenant, he was not tenant this time around, he was the caretaker of that particular apartment. But there's a tenant there who was trying to cause issue, and she moved out, but she didn't move out completely. She had other things in the house, only for her to come back and say the things she had in the house are worth 3 million naira. The only thing she had was a mattress, not even up to 4x6 size bed, and a TV that is just about 24 inches. And she came back to make that claim. And after a series of back and forth with that's my friend who is the caretaker, he was arrested and, remained there in police custody and never got bail. In fact, they refused him bail different times. I went to the police station. I think that was the first time I actually went to the police station. Different times we went, negotiated, but no way. Oh. To the point it even led us to court and all of that. It became so big. Now just imagine, and I was the only person he knows as at that time. He doesn't have a mother, not a father, not even siblings. Just imagine I wasn't there to speak out or say something. He would just maybe remain there in prison and never come out. So we're just going to be talking about things like this that often occur. Don't you think the police should do more of, at least investigate properly before arresting people? And also, I think our judicial system too should wake up. Don't you think so?
Well, it's quite the Englishman would say it's a potpourri of many problems, which means it's a complicated situation, right? The point for me is that if somebody was arrested in 2019 and then released in 2025, apparently they must have been held for about 6 years. And then cap it all off, sadly, telling us now that, well, the person was wrongfully detained. So the question is, for someone who has, in a manner of speaking, lost 6 years, how do you compensate for that? In an ideal situation, barring ASU strikes and any form of closure in Nigeria university system, that's enough time for you to earn a bachelor's degree and a master's on top of it. If you say, okay, you want to take the path of acquiring skills or learning business or trade or something, it's enough time for you to graduate from anything in this life and even have some experience post-graduation. Therefore, you have taken off, or you have eaten off a chunk of this young man's life or this lady's life. That's how it is. And like you mentioned, this is one of several cases in Nigeria and across the world. All right, but then you have other countries, so-called civilized environments, where there's a way to compensate for things like this. There's a system that is robust and vibrant enough that helps to say, well, we can seek redress and we can find some sort of compensation. Nothing is ever ever enough to compensate fully, but we can find some sort of redress. But in Nigeria, is that possible? I'd heard of a case of a lawyer who was also detained for about 11 years, only to realize that the man was not even 1,000 foot close to the crime he had been accused of, which was the basis on which he was detained in the first instance. So we must have to ask ourselves, do we have laws that cover things like this? And if we do, whose responsibility is it to enforce those laws, to ensure that the rights of citizens are protected at all times? And where those rights are infringed upon, that the laws are also realistic enough, they are also aligned with reality enough to help, if you like, bring closure to such issues. Because you can't hold somebody for 6 years and then you release them having now realized, maybe for the first time, that they were wrongly held. And then all you expect is for them to go home, case closed, and then we all move on as though nothing happened. No, we must seek redress. Somebody must be held accountable, which is a big lacuna we deal with in Nigeria, where things go wrong on different levels, under different circumstances, and nobody is held accountable. And where there's no accountability, the minimum or the best you can have is chaos.
Thank you so much, Oye, for your contribution. And to add to that, I just want you to know that bail isn't free, because that person actually paid a huge sum of money, even though he was wrongly accused and arrested. He paid a very huge sum of money, according to the lawyers, in the video.
But God, I put it to you, the police is your friend, and there's nothing you can tell me about it.
Okay, that's what they say, but we don't know well about that. Anyway, thank you so much once again, Oye Agbomofoemi. And that's all we have for you today on Social Buzz here in Global Morning. Till I come your way next time, I'll always say, stay safe. It's that time of the year, so please stay safe and remain with us as Global Morning continues.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Turn Up Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
To Entertainment Circle. And trust me,
Mark, this is the first conversation on Global Morning today, and of course, we want to look at something very important, and that is an assessment of the standard of living of Nigerians right now. A lot of people are saying so many things. How is the economy faring? As a matter of fact, it's worth talking about. Looking at the economic situation, we want to assess Nigerians' standard of living. And I have someone joining me, a development consultant, and of course, a public affairs analyst and a columnist joining us on the conversation today in the person of Jide Ojo. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning, sir.
It's my pleasure. Good morning, Ramson.
Thank you very much. It's been a while. Should I be saying Happy New Month to you, of course?
Yeah, that's another Happy New Month, Happy New Week, and Merry Christmas and New Year in advance.
Thank you very much. Yes, the Christmas is drawing very near, and of course, you know what Nigerians have been facing since 2023. How can we describe the situation at this point in time, talking about Nigerians' standard of living?
Of course, the standard of living has been very appalling, very deplorable. There's what is called high cost of living and high standard of living. Most Nigerians are finding it extremely difficult to survive. Many are below poverty line. I think the last World Bank report for 2025 says that 139 million Nigerians are living below poverty line. And when you look at unemployment ratio, it's over 33% now, maybe getting to 40%. Because even when you talk of employment, you have to calibrate it and talk about underemployment and partial employment and full employment. And when you see a lot of people, imagine a graduate of university or tertiary institution working as a security guard. Is that unemployment or underemployment? Because that's not what he was trained for. You know, you see people who are graduates doing hotel cleaning job, doing hawking on the streets, and so many things. So, as you rightly pointed out, since 2023, with the removal of subsidy and the floating of the naira, the exchange rate, the lives of average Nigeria has never been the same. And when you look at all development indices in Nigeria, all development indices on Nigeria, it's actually pointing south. It's pointing down. Whether you are talking of Human Development Index, you are talking of health security index, and all of that. So it's a very worrisome development. Nigeria is what we call right now the Obesian state of nature, where life is short, brutish, and solitary. That's the reality of an average citizen.
All right. With all of this put together, some people believe that if you talk about standard of living, it cut across so many areas. Some persons might be doing well as it has to do with feeding. Some persons might not be doing well when it comes to maybe housing. Now, as it is, let's give it a holistic approach right now. Which area do you think Nigerians are facing it more seriously as it has to do with the standard of living? If you want to say, well, if there is anything that we need to do right now about standard of living, these are the areas we should concentrate. Can we hear your perspective of that?
Of course, it's about food security. You know, the Obesian state of Abraham Maslow's theory of need talks about three basic needs: home, shelter, clothing, and feeding. And those are the three that is majorly lacking for many Nigerians. How many people? We have more homeless people now. People living in shanties, people living on the bridge, people living in very unstable environments. We have higher number of them. In fact, a very huge chunk of Nigerians now live in what is called internally displaced persons camps. Again, because of insecurity. Then you have a lot of Nigerians who cannot even afford a meal per day. We are not talking of different meals. I mean, just eat something, save up hunger. So many Nigerians are facing starvation. And, then of course, clothing. Those are the three basic things. If I could pick in order of priority, I would choose those three: feeding, clothing, and shelter. And once anybody can afford these three, we can say, yes, they may not be rich, but they go by. They will be able to survive. But unfortunately now, you see a lot of students, pupils, dropping out of school. Parents could no longer afford to pay school fees. We have also seen that the school environment is no longer safe. The mass adoption that we handle now. But basically, when you talk of cost of living, let's limit it to the issue about how many people can afford 3 meals a day. How many people can afford a decent home? Just even if it's a room and a parlor, or a family of 4, or a family of 5. How many people can afford to change their clothes when what they wear worn out, or to buy additional clothes? We are faced this festive period now. How many families can afford to buy their children a new clothes, new shoes, or make them merry during this festive period? So that reality that we face right now.
All right. Now, let's look at the area of concern right now. There are some form of distraction right now in the society. People don't even care anymore because, number one, people believe that Nigerians, especially people in authority who are supposed to make these things, of course, available to Nigerians, to the average Nigerians. A lot of people are distracted right now. Do you see the authorities doing enough to salvage the situation, as it were?
If they are doing enough, the statistics will not be increasing. They are not obviously doing enough. You know, Section 14, Subsection 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, said security and welfare of citizens shall be the primary purpose of government. Is it in the area of security you want to say government has striked? With the mass abductions in worship centers, in schools, or even a random picking of travelers on the highway, can we in good conscience say that Nigerians are more secured under this administration than we were before? The answer is no. Then when you talk about welfare, I just spelled it out for you. According to Abraham Maslow, a psychologist, he said a family should be able to afford, feeding, clothing, and shelter. That is welfare. Now, I've broken it down for you that most Nigerians can no longer afford these three basic things. So where then can we say government at all levels are trying? Yes, efforts are being made, but I totally disagree that these efforts are actually lifting people from below the poverty line. Buhari administration, the immediate past administration said they were planning to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. As at the time he made that, he had about 2-3 years to the end of his tenure. But right now, more people are dropping below poverty line than they are being lifted out of poverty line. And let nobody come out to tell me that government is increasing the number of people on social register and those who are enjoying conditional cash transfer. I've had the cost to drill down on this conditional cash transfer. This government is giving 25,000 naira for 3 months. That is a total of 75,000 naira in 90 days, approximately. And this is a household, not just individual. So just tell me how someone can manage each a living out of 75,000 naira for 90, 92, 93 days. Because it all depends, you know, we have different days of the month. There are 30 days, there are 31 days. So if you are paying me 25,000 naira for 3 days, and you say you want to leave me out of poverty, even if I'm living in the most rural communities, will I not have cost to buy food? Will I not have cost to buy electricity if the area is connected to electricity? Will I not have cost to buy data for my phone if I'm not using an internet-based phones? Will I not buy recharge? Will I not buy food? Will I not pay transport? You know, will people live and just stay within their house without having to commute? So, really speaking, and then you pay for 3 months and you stop, and you say you have touched lives, you have lifted people out of poverty. That is a pattern line. Look at how many people died last year struggling for module of rice from different religious worship centers and humanitarian organizations. People dying in Stampede, in Enugu, in Abuja, in Ibadan, you know, all over the places where people have to step and crush themselves to death over collection of 1 or 2 module of rice. And that's just something that will last them for perhaps 1 week. So it's a very devastating news that our government at all level, both federal, state, and local government, are not doing enough. Which is why you also have this increase in the number of criminals. Many people are now going into banditry. Many are going into internet scamming. Many are going into ritual murder, Yahoo plus, and all of that. All because they just want to make ends meet. So unfortunate, and I must also say that this is not a peculiar situation to Nigeria. I've seen all over the world, and even in US, in UK, people protesting and rising cost of living. Even in our West African neighborhoods and even entire Africa, many countries are experiencing similar things. But we cannot say that because it's a global phenomenon, we should not condemn the one that is happening to us, because this is a rich poor country. It's not as if we do not have the resources. It's not as if we don't have the money. But this money is just concentrated. Imagine about 1% of the population living large at the expense of 99%. Or if I want to be more magnanimous, I would say 10% of the population enjoying on behalf of 90%. Is that fair? Is that equitable? Is that just? Is that just? So you find just a handful of people in every community being able to pay their bills. Many, including those who have suffered to go to school and 1 or 2 degrees. Some have PhD, they could not get job. Many study professional courses, they can't find job. When they eventually find one, they are paid pittance. You know, they are paid pittance, something that cannot even that cannot even afford them a decent meal over the month. And unfortunately, we now have an increasing number of companies and factories and businesses in casualization, where they will just offer you temporary appointment so that you cannot claim benefits, whether it's health benefit, transport benefits, or even housing benefits or Christmas bonus. So you are just like, even with financial institutions, it's worse off. You think that those people work in banking institutions, many of those tellers you find in banks are actually casual staffs who are sourced to a recruiting agency, and it is the recruiting agency that is paid, who then eventually pay those casual staffs that are recruited for the banks. Only a fraction, but less than about 30% of bank staffs now across board are actually permanent staff. So in the situations like this, you cannot but shed tears, which is why you see a lot of people who want to japa, because they are just tired, they are frustrated with the situation at home.
All right. Thank you very much, Jide. Now, you've spoken extensively. There's no better way to have explained that than you have done so far. Now, let's look at this very worrisome situation. While you were talking, you talked about the fact that people had to work in the bank, some are casual staff, they are not even permanent staff. And most times you hear like, okay, you need to be this age before you get the job, because people now, Nigerians do almost anything at all to earn their living, just get peanuts, pennies, like you said. Now, the issue of victimization, taking advantage of ourselves, has become predominant in so many ways. You get to the bank today, you see some charges. You go to the market to buy things, you see someone trying to increase the price of some commodities to make excess gain. You get to the internet, whatever you do, you see people. Maybe you're looking for a house somewhere. You see an agent trying to inflate cost. And all of these are adding to the cost of living of Nigerians. What can we do? Because in every area, okay, some people will tell you, well, this is what we do. Is either you leave it, you do it, or you leave it, and all of that. But this is exploitation at different levels. What do we do in this situation? Because this one is also adding to the difficulties Nigerians are facing, as it has to do with the poor standard of living.
Of course, it's like I said, it's a worrisome development. In my neck of woods, from where I'm speaking with you now, my rent has been increased by 100%, and this was despite that this was increased by 20% last year. This year is now 100%, and it's not as if there is any value addition on the property. And that's the story of many of us, and which is why you see a lot of people working in Abuja and living in Dubai, or they are living somewhere in Suleja, Kaduna Road, or they are living in Kefi, an hour's drive from Abuja, all because they want cheaper accommodation. And even when you go to those places, you must be ready to pay double the transport fare, because now the transport has also gone up. And then the electricity tariff has gone up. Then the telecommunication tariff has gone up. So Nigeria are just existing. They are not living. Many Nigerians, when I say Nigerians, I'm talking of average Nigerians, not the political class, not the ruling class, not people, business mogul. Even many business mogul today are under intense financial stress because they are owing monies, banks, financial institutions. Many people you think are very well to do, their properties have been mortgaged. They have used their properties as collateral to collect loans. Many cannot service those loans. If you just go to the AMCON website, you find out that many people in your neck of wood who you think are very rich are on the list of AMCON, who are owing billions of naira that they can no longer service the debt. And so a lot of Nigerians are under stress. In fact, it reminds me of the very popular song of Ras Mono, Under Pressure. I think he sang that song in the 90s, that Nigerians are under pressure. But if you say Nigerians were under pressure in 1990, what will you say of this 2023 to 2025? We are more than under intense and very severe pressure. So it goes to say, and that's why a lot of people are cutting corners. You go to the market, apart from the inflation of food prices, they also teach you, if they are not very clever and smart, many people use false measures to measure out grains to their customers. You need to check the module. Some of them have melted candles to reduce the measure of in those modules. Some have built some other things like paper to half of the to fill half of the module, all in a bid to cheat customers. So everybody, and most people rather, not everybody, most people in the market are trying to cheat on their customers, and it's very, very unsavory. And that is what Nigerians are. It's about man's inhumanity to man right now. So, because people will tell you, I have to also to my own government. Since government is not taking care of me, I have to find a way of taking care of myself, which is also what has led to a bandit. Go and ask those boys who are involved in banditry and criminal enterprise. They will tell you, some of them, not all, are just frustrated and they are trying to pick it up on the rest of the society. Some will tell you that they are graduate, they graduate for 10 years, for 5 years, they cannot find job, the job they found, it's not paying living with them. So they just have to survive one or the other. So everybody becomes a victim, like book of a classic book of Professor Isidro of Wells that I read many years ago, which is called the victims. So most Nigerians are now victims of their own environment. It's not even limited to normal society, even religious worship centers. You find kids, you find people who are double clusters, who are using these things to exploit other people. So every man to himself and God for us all. That's the situation that we now face.
Wow, I like that. Every man to himself, God for us all. Now, there is this belief or school of thought, as it may be, that the politicians weaponizes poverty, hunger especially, to take advantage of the masses, especially during election. I'm saying this because you mentioned the fact that some persons are just being given a mudu of rice, cups of rice, or maybe salt or something during campaigns and all of that. That's what a lot of Nigerians say. Now, are you of the same school of thought? Can you breathe more light to that aspect? Because 2027 is coming now, and the standard of living is nothing to write home about right now. What are Nigerians expecting, and what do you think should be done in that situation? Because we can't continue like this, maybe.
Well, about weaponizing poverty, that is a given. It is typical of politicians to weaponize everything. They weaponize information, they weaponize poverty, they weaponize unemployment, they weaponize just name it. So it's not surprising. But I think it's just our salvation does not lie in the political class, it lies in ourselves. We just need to take certain action. And see, let's not turn all of this whole discussion to a lamentation of sorts. I've written about this situation in many articles in my column in the Punch newspaper. And we have advised people that your salvation is actually in your hands. People must learn. I mean, let me take it from this angle. When I learned about the vice principal that was killed in Maga, during the raid by the bandits of that school, do you know that the vice principal left behind a wife and 9 children? A wife and 9 children. And I asked myself, why will a man go to become a baby factory of sorts? 9 children, for what reason? It's high time we embrace child spacing and family planning. Because it's enough, this situation is not going to improve anytime soon. And I've validated this empirical study in many of my articles in the Punch newspaper. I recall what I used songs released by different artists at different periods in our national life about cost of living. And I cited music, songs from 1960s, in fact from 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, down to 2000, where popular artists release songs, release albums, decrying rising cost of living. I mean, go and listen to Pela Anikulapo suffering and smiling. I don't know if you have listened to it, Ramsey, suffering and smiling. That song was released over 30 years ago. Why? We also have in Yoruba land people like King Sunny Ade, people like Ebenezer Obey. Ebenezer Obey sang about Formula 010. That people were eating with.
I see that you like to learn e-commerce, how to sell products online. I mean physical products, how to sell them online. You need the link that can actually help you.
That people will eat, they will not eat in the morning, they will eat afternoon, they will not eat at night. So they were using formula to feed. And that this was songs released 40, 50 years ago. So it tells you a story that your salvation is not in the political class, whether it's a military government or civilian government. They are all a bunch of selfish, self-aggrandizing individuals. So it's best to take your destiny in your hand, learn multiple skills, don't have large family, have enough that your resources can take care of. If you don't have like the Joneses, don't spend like the Joneses. If you are not having huge salary, know what fits you. If you cannot afford a 2-bedroom flat, just stay a self-contained. Or if you cannot live in the heart of town, go and live in the satellite communities. So many cost-cutting measures that we can all live to manage the situation so that our mental health does not suffer, because this has health implications. You see a lot of people walking on the streets and talking to themselves, ignorant of where they are.
All right.
Because they are just out. So it's best to start thinking about what is the solution beyond the political class, beyond the tokenism, beyond the fact that you are going to continue to declare that there are no jobs, there are no poverty reduction measures. Start taking your destiny in your hands. Start learning different skills that can fetch you additional income for your mainstream job, your side hustles and all of that. That's the solution as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Thank you very much. There's no better way to have said it than you just did. Well, that's for me. Our salvation is not in the politicians. I think that word for me. Well, I just wish everyone all over the world, of course, 15 countries and more are listening to us right now, watching us. So this is a good message to Nigerians in diaspora and even those back at home. We will keep spreading this message of hope everywhere we go. Thank you very much, Jide Ojo, for joining us on the conversation this morning.
It's my pleasure. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
And you too.
Keep safe and stable.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
All right. Well, this is so good, and the information and the discussion is apt. We'll go on a quick break. After this break, we'll bring you the second conversation on Global Morning today. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria
to entertainment circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sport here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to entertainment circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sport here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Thank you for joining us for the second part of the conversation. This morning, security is on the front burner, and we're looking at measures being rolled out by the federal government under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu. I'm joined by Dr. Ahmed Yahuza Getso. He's a security expert as well as intelligence analyst. Thank you so very much, Getso Yahuza, for taking our time to join us on the program this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. So let's begin with the new conversation in front of us. The president has warned criminals, whether they are bandits or insurgents or terrorists, whatever their name is, to say, look, your days are numbered. And there are people, including experts like you, who say that the president is coming hard and tough against these criminal elements, as against what we had seen in the past. Is that your sentiment about this development?
Well, it is really commendable. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu deserves commendation,
right,
and clap and salute by all Nigerians. Even if it means looking at the statements, looking at the 6 points, recent point outlined by his government. One, making a declaration for state of emergency on security. Two, sending the message to the criminals, as you mentioned, which is very clear. He said it, time without number, in recent time. Number four, and number three, looking at his statement in respect to control of armed proliferation, light weapons and others, is quite the policy statement. Even if it means it's a political statement, it carries a lot of weight. And number four, looking at the expedite action and measurable strategies, whichever way it was used by his government to bring back the girls kidnapped from Maga without any of them being hurt. This is quite commendable. And then number five, withdrawal of a special security attention to VIPs by instructing the Inspector General of Police to withdraw all the personnel from the VIP. And then number six, instructing the DSS to send the forest guards to all Nigerian forests, even though the number is not really going to cover even a local government. The total number of the forest guards, because they are not up to 1,500, all of them in the country.
Right.
So when you take out the managers, the administrators, the finance, and then the orderlies of the senior, you realize that the total number may not be up to 900 or thereby. But at least given that instruction. And I can say that is number seven, marching order to all the security chiefs to bring an end of this menace. This is quite commendable. This outlines 7 things. Even if it means during the period of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu between 2023 to 2027, he worked on these 7 outlined items to achieve them, to demonstrate commitment on them, to operationalize them, and to translate them into action, and to make sure that he delivers these. Nigerians deserve to kind of salute and commend him and re-elect him. I'm not a politician, I don't care. But I believe if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will deliver this, he deserves re-election by Nigerians. Because what matters is a matter of life and death. And it is only when you have peace, your economy will grow. It is only when you have peace, investors will come. It is only when you have peace, you will go to farm and address the food insecurity. It is only when you have peace, you will be able to allow children to go to school. It is only when you have peace, you will be able to demonstrate the leadership It is only when you have peace, you will have all the media activities and all the diplomatic proceedings, as well as any other thing that will come to be true. So for this and many other things, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu deserves to be commended, and I really commend him for so doing. And I believe I'm still following up, and that's still my position. We cannot achieve any of this without fighting corruption. We have to fight corruption. We have to fight complicity. We have to fight compromises in the process. We have to have a unique policy for fighting the insurgency and terrorists, as well as the agitators and the other violators of whatever.
Okay, I want to talk.
If we can be serious on this,
let me ask you. Yes, I can imagine. But let me ask you this: there's an irony of some kind now, because the more the federal government is ramping up its fights against insurgents and other criminals, then we seem to be seeing some sort of resurgence or a kind of increase in attacks. For example, just yesterday, we understand that these criminals have even entered Kogi State, and the government of that state has confirmed their presence, but again assured that the issue will be addressed and these criminals will be taken out. All right, but does that not show that these criminals too are sending a message to the federal government and indeed to the Nigerian people?
Let me tell you something to you, and they say something to you and to our viewers and listeners. The reality is the bandits' presence does not start in Kogi recently or during the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. It started much longer, 9 years back. And the Yahaya Bello knows about it, and Ododo inherited it. So it's not something new. Unless Ododo or any other person deceive Nigerians or deceive Kogis about it. It's not something new. If Ododo does something that brought an end of these guys, that is commendable. It's not all about what time they came, what time they are leaving. What matters is who work assiduously in order to see the end of them. So that's the reality. So in essence, yes, of course, the bandits, the kidnappers, and all the criminals are strategizing.
Right.
You remember, in this your station, I have said time without number. There are complexities which must be addressed. There are a lot of compromises. There are infusion of corruption and corrupt practices. There are serious unscrupulous elements among our security agencies. There are internal saboteurs within the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There are internal collaborators and corroborators and partners of these bandits, kidnappers, and all other criminals. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his government, they know there are elements, because there are a lot of allegations of some of his appointees being party to direct participation or indirect participation, or indirect providing indirect support or direct support to these criminals. So part of his commitment we see is those who are being alleged, even though it is allegations, those who have been alleged, he should remove them from their positions and also hold them accountable, ask the law to deal with them, investigate them, and if they are found wanting, they should face the wrath of the law. That will serve as a deterrence, which means he must clean his house. There is smoke in his house. There is fire about to begin in his house. So let him fix his house. Because there are some of his political appointees that have been alleged to have direct involvement.
But the question is, have those allegations been substantiated?
Sorry?
Have those allegations been substantiated?
They can only be substantiated if these guys are out of office, and if the investigation process takes place, then we will find whether negative or positive. If it is positive, those who allege them should be brought back to the book to prove themselves right or wrong.
So
you know, when you are conducting investigation, you need evidence.
Right.
But some of them cannot be investigated because they are part of the government. How come you come to my house and say you want me to investigate my wife or my children? Do you think I will be fair? But when you ask me, bring your wife to the police station, bring your wife to the barrack, bring your wife to the DSS, bring your wife to the court. The court have the right, not a privilege. The barrack have the right, not a privilege. The police station have the right, not a privilege. You know, if my wife commits an offense, God forbid, or my children, God forbid, when you want to get them, you come to in front of my house. You need my person and my over to come and interrogate them. Or you have to get my consent in order to invite them to the police station, to the barrack, to the DSS office, or to the court. Proceedings. But when my wife is inside and I keep coming out and going in, coming out, you cannot cross over to my house because you will cause a trouble to yourself. You know you have the limitations. So the security agencies, the investigators in the police, intelligence, in the DSS, wherever they are, limitations. They cannot go and just investigate somebody on the seat appointed by the president. If the president is committed and serious and really want to end, those guys that are being alleged must be removed from office. I'm repeating myself, they must be removed from office and they must be allowed to face the right. And if they are found wanting, they must be punished. That could serve as a deterrence. That's what will tell us that the friend is really serious and is really ready. But we come for what he has started. And we hope gradually it's there where he will remove those who are being alleged and allow them to also be prosecuted and be presented before the law. Then for them to face the rest of the law. That is just it.
You have talked about the president's house. I mean, that was the term that you used. Now, speaking of that house, borrowing your own choice of words, we understand that Mohammed Badaru Abubakar has resigned now as Minister of Defense. Is that timely? Is it political? Is it related, from what you understand, what you're hearing, to all of these insecurity issues that we are dealing with?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I never hear the name of Badaru among those who are being alleged to be participating, to be collaborating, to be partnering, or to have any element of support to the bandits, or to the kidnappers, or to the IPOP, or to any of the Boko Haram, ISWAP, Ansaru, Mahmoud, Al-Qurawa, and so on and so forth. But there are those who are in the government, who are among the political appointees of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose name has been made very, very clear publicly by religious clerics, by politicians, by masses, by local hunters. And those whose allegations were made against them, they have their names are open, and there are some at the local level, there are some at the local government level, there are some at the state level, there are some at the federal level. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows them. The names are there. You know them. You that I'm talking to you, you know them.
You can't be sure. You can't be sure, Mr. Getso, that I know them.
I am very sure. It's there. Go to the YouTube. There are a lot of clips are there. Nobody disputed it.
And those people are in this government. And you're saying those people are in these Tinubu governments?
Yes, of course, they are. The clips are there. They were alleged, they were challenged by by some of the governors. They were challenged by some of the religious clerics. They were challenged by some of the politicians. Let them step down. Let's Bola Ahmed Tinubu remove them from office and let them face the rise of the law. Let investigation take place. Let who or no. I'm not justifying the allegations because I'm not in position to do so.
All right. Let's also now.
My wife's arrest warrant. What do I do?
Right. Can we talk about?
It's just a simple example.
I want us to talk about something that happened yesterday. Immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, retired, we understand, had a meeting, a closed-door meeting with President Bola Tinubu. What can you make of that meeting for a man who is no longer in office and just a few hours earlier, Defense Minister had resigned? How do we connect both? Do you think there's a correlation between these two events?
In the cabinet matters, which I don't have right or privilege as them. But the reality is, General Christopher Musa is a Nigerian and is an experience, is somebody who rose through the rank Chief of Defense Staff. And I'm sure he rose through those ranks in the military, in the Nigerian, up to the position of staff, because of the procedure of training, promotion, and so on and so forth. So being him out of office, it doesn't mean that he cannot write requests for audience to meet the president. I can write the audience that I want to meet with the president. And the president can invite me, maybe based on these discussions I'm having on the media, or can invite even an ordinary local government chairman, or even a council. The president can decide at his own discretion for his own reasons. And those to be state things may be overseen. Probably what takes general has nothing to do with what people are sending us.
Well, it appears that we're having audio issues with our guests on this conversation. Well, let's take a quick break. And when we return, we'll look at other issues, including whether or not Nigeria at this point requires foreign collaboration in a bid to win the war against insecurity. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Very numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
Rural news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to entertainment, tackle, and And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Turn Up Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, that was Dr. Yahuza Getza, the security expert and intelligence analyst, helping us understand what these new moves that President Bola Tinubu is making mean for Nigeria's security and defense, in fact, the defense architecture in our dear country. But one thing is clear, the president is thinking different in light of the reality that we're dealing with regarding insecurity. And he was saying something, that's our guest, about Kogi State. He made very clear that the presence of bandits or insurgents in Kogi State is not new, that they had always been there, that even when the former governor, Yahaya Bello, was in office, they had been there. However, he made very clear that as it stands today in Nigeria, it's not so much about when this insecurity started, when it got heightened, when things became intensified or rife, as it is about the need to end it. So at this point in time, the important thing going forward is ending it. So it's not a question of, well, it started when Ramsey was the president or when he was the governor of such and such states. No, it's now about how do we end it. And he says that is the kind of forward-looking leadership that the president is providing. And then I also posed the question to him about the presence of General Christopher Musa, retired, immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, and the meeting he held with the president behind closed doors. And he says, well, he's a Nigerian and one who has been, led the defense system in this country at the time. And as such, he can decide to see the president upon request. He can request audience with the president, and if granted, of course, why not? He can see the president. But you and I know that we're waiting to see what that meeting was about and how it serves the overall interest of Nigeria. But then we also need to be asking ourselves, what more role can citizens play to also support whatever government is doing at this point in time?
Well, I think the president is giving lay down rules, and he's given a pattern.
Right.
Just like, I don't want to call that an action plan, but a strategy.
Yes.
And that is all-inclusiveness. Because he talked about the forest, recruitment of more police officers, and of course what the civil defense needs to do, what all these people need to do. And so good that the forest guard, as it is, they are very close to the people, the vigilante. The president even went as far as saying states that can afford state policing should go ahead, that the National Assembly should look into it. This is all inclusiveness. Who are going to be recruited into this police force? These are people, the locals, the Nigerians, who are saying, well, we are tired of this situation. What we need to do now is to face it headlong. These are the kind of people that will get into that recruitment. Then talk about vigilante. Vigilante is more like a voluntary service to the community, just like a voluntary community service. How they generate their income, their resources, is what a lot of people don't know. But then, the issue of security in Nigeria is for all of us, not just the military alone. Just that somebody must be in the forefront to get the support of others from behind. And you know what that means when it comes to tackling insecurity? Because we need intelligent information. There is no time I will talk about insecurity in this country that I will not mention intelligence. My pastor said something one time. He said, you might have all the gadgets, all the equipment, all the weapons, but the application of these weapons demands wisdom and intelligence. It's not how far, but how well. And that's exactly what we need in this country at this particular point in time. And how do we achieve this? We need to hit the ground running, leaving no stone unturned.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
First of all, before you get the participation of the masses, there needs to be a number one sense of belonging. You need to make Nigerians believe in the system. Because a lot of people today, if you talk about insecurity, they will just hiss. Are they not the ones causing it? Is it not because they want security votes? Are they not the ones inciting? Are they not the ones sponsoring?
And these are theories, in most cases, Ramsey, interestingly, that you just can't wave off with the left hand.
So with all of that, you find it difficult to even get the people getting involved. Not until recently, you see communities ganging up against these people because they felt, well, the system cannot defend us anymore. We need to defend ourselves.
Interesting.
So first of all, let the people believe in the system. And that's why I'm not taking your statement, I think was it on the decks lightly. See, the plan, the statement has been made. The instruction has been given. But what is the gap, the space? How far is the implementation?
Give us a timeline.
Give us a timeline. All right. Let Nigerians believe more in the system. Because Nigerians believe in the military of this country. They believe in this nation. But they need the action.
Well, it's interesting. This is the reason we say let's build public trust. Let's entrench institutional confidence in such a way that if you mention the CBN, Nigerians will trust the institution. If you mention NAFDAC or NDLEA or the Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigerians can trust these institutions. And then when you mention the defense or the military, across service branches, Nigerians will have trust. I mean, I've said here once or twice about how that there was a time where a poll was done as to which institution or entity Americans trust the most. The two that came top were number 2, I'll start from the bottom. Number 2, Amazon, a privately owned entity, right? The first was the Army, the U.S. Army, right? So, can we not replicate that sort of reality in our own domain here in Nigeria? Can we not have a situation where people can trust the police? As a young boy growing up, my parents and their friends used to share stories of how that's every time somebody strayed or got stuck, maybe in between a road trip, they would look for the nearest police station, take refuge, and rest assured that no harm will come upon them, unless if that harm will affect both them and the policemen in that police station. So you won't have a case of somebody coming up the next morning to say, a policeman took my bag, someone picked my wallet, someone put me under duress to give money, someone exploited me, took undue advantage of me and things like that. But the question is,
think right now.
Yeah, several decades down the line, is that still the reality? So, like Ramsey said extensively, we've got to build public trust. It is non-negotiable. People must be able to trust regulatory agencies. Let's leave security for a second. So that if NAFDAC says this water is good for your health, nobody has to scratch their head to be double sure or to double check whether it's good for their health, whether it's ideal for consumption or not. We must be able to trust those who also man these institutions. We've heard people say build strong institutions, not strong men. The question is there no synergy between both, all right? Is there no nexus that connects strong men and strong institutions? Strong institutions don't run on autopilot. I mean, it's not a James Bond movie. Even James Bond needs to punch a few buttons every now and then. So we must find that handshake between both. Build Ramsey as a strong man, let him man or run or head or coordinate a strong institution. We must have that. Because that's one way he will be able to take strong measures where the need arises. That's one way he will be able to make tough decisions every time it matters within the framework of a strong institution. So we don't have a situation where the man is stronger than the institution he leads, because this is a country where...
And vice versa.
Exactly. The other way around too is very dangerous, all right? It can be very chaotic, because this is a country where we saw his serving CBN governor saying he wanted to stand for president.
Why still serving?
Of course, he was actively in service.
But wait, some of the things that happen in this country, sometimes you think and feel like, well, maybe these things are deliberate, or maybe they just feel, well, we are in power, so whatever, anything can happen.
Or you're pinching yourself to be sure. Am I not seeing a Nollywood movie?
That's it. If not, I don't know. So many things. See, Nigeria is a great nation. I'll keep saying that.
It is.
But particular people, particular set of people, particular set of cabals have brought us to where we are today.
Right.
But we thank God for the kind of sanitation going on right now. At least we are seeing improvement.
Right.
And it will get better.
It will.
It will get better. But then the government needs to make the people believe in the system. That's first of all.
Right.
Whatever, see, an American will want to do anything, all right, for America first. You're right. And for Americans. Some people will even want to lay their lives. You understand? You can imagine the kind of risk. In fact, just like it's that parable in the Bible that who will have 100 sheep and one will go missing, I will not leave the 99 and go for one. I think that scripture is referring to America. One of their citizens, they can leave everything and send troops, trained soldiers, you know, to pick up, you know, a citizen that is held hostage or something. Well, I'm waiting for when Nigeria will get to that level.
Well, I think we're getting there 1 inch at a time, and it's a good thing to know that the president is leading this call at this point in time. And let's also be clear, whatever measures the president is taking now is for the good of all, including the president himself, because the president has ambition to stand for re-election in 2027. At least that's the feeler we're getting, even though he has not categorically and word for word told us just that. But of course, the body language is clear. The direction of politics in 2027 is not in doubt at all. The president is also doing this for his own government because of the image that his government must portray. You don't want to be the president who leads a government that is chaotic on account of insecurity that appears to have overwhelmed you and your government. So this is not just for the Nigerian people, it's also for President Bola Tinubu, because he is first and foremost a Nigerian before he is the father of the nation. We must establish that. Well, this is the point where we'll say big thank you to you, everyone, for spending a part of your morning with us here on the show. We'd like to remind you that all of the views shared by our guests on our programs, including here on Global Morning, are their opinions. I am Uyi Agumofwegbe saying a big thank you to you.
I'm Ramsey Enokabo. Many thanks for staying with us on Global Morning today. Thank you, Uyi.
My pleasure always, Ramsey.